November 2008. Brian Chesky is sleeping on an air mattress in his own apartment. He's $20,000 in debt. His startup has been rejected by every major investor in Silicon Valley. In 3 weeks, Airbnb will be completely out of money. But right now, he's about to make a decision that will turn this failing idea into a $75 billion company. This is a story of how Airbnb survived bankruptcy, and the framework that saved them applies whether you're running a startup or a $10 million business. Let's go back to where this started. 2007. Brian Chesky and Joe Gebbia are two broke designers in San Francisco. Rent is due. They don't have the money, so they do something desperate. They had 3 air mattresses, set up a basic website, and rent out floor space in their apartment to people attending a design conference. They charge $80 a night, breakfast included. 3 people book. They make $240. And more importantly, they realize something. There's demand here. So they team up with Nathan Blecharczyk, a technical co-founder, and they build it properly. They called it Airbed and Breakfast then, and they went on to launch their website named airbedandbreakfast.com, a platform where anyone can list their spare room, their couch, their entire apartment. Peer-to-peer lodging. By mid-2008, they've got a few hundred listings. They're getting bookings. It's working. Here's what most people miss about this phase. Chesky didn't scale immediately. He could have. He could have taken out loans, hired a team, blasted marketing. But he didn't. He stayed small. He stayed close to the product. This is what venture capitalists call founder market fit. Chesky understood lodging because he'd lived the problem. He wasn't trying to scale a solution he didn't understand yet. That patience is what saved them later. Then September 2008 hits. Lehman Brothers collapses. The entire global economy implodes. Travel spending freezes overnight, and Airbnb's revenue flatlines. The crisis. By November, Airbnb is dying. They've been trying to raise funding for months. Every single investor in Silicon Valley has said no. The pitch doesn't make sense to them. Why would anyone stay in a stranger's home? Hotels exist. This is a classic case of what Clayton Christensen calls asymmetric motivation. Airbnb's success would disrupt hotels, but hotels had no reason to care about 3 guys with air mattresses. And investors couldn't see the market yet because it didn't exist. Chesky's burned through his savings. The team is living on ramen and hope. They've got maybe 3 weeks of runway left. So they do something insane. It's the 2008 presidential election. Obama versus McCain. So Chesky and Gebbia design limited edition cereal boxes. Obama O's and Captain McCain's. They convince a Berkeley student to let them use his industrial kitchen. They hand glue 1,000 cereal boxes together at 4 a.m. They sell them for $40 a box. They make $30,000. This keeps them alive just long enough to get into Y Combinator, the startup accelerator. Paul Graham, the founder, sees something in them. Not the idea, the founders. He gives them $20,000 and tells them to figure it out. And this is where most founders would pivot. They'd abandon lodging entirely and chase whatever idea might get funded. Chesky doesn't. Instead, he does the opposite. He goes deeper. This is the pattern that separates great founders from desperate ones. When you're out of money, your instinct is to try everything. New features, new markets, new pivots. But Chesky understood the concept of problem-solution fit. Before you scale, you need to prove people actually want what you're building. And right now, hosts weren't getting bookings. That meant the fit wasn't there yet. He applied what product managers call first principles thinking, stripping away assumptions and asking, what's the actual reason people aren't booking? Chesky did something different. He got obsessed with one question. Why aren't we growing? So he started calling hosts directly. Why aren't you getting bookings? And that's when he sees it. The listings look terrible. Grainy phone photos, bad lighting, unmade beds, dirty dishes in the background. No one's going to pay $80 a night for a couch that looks like a crime scene. He realizes people aren't choosing between Airbnb and hotels. They're choosing between this specific listing and literally anything else. This is what marketers call positioning. Airbnb thought they were competing with Hilton. But they were actually competing with the user's default option, doing nothing, staying home, or crashing with friends. And right now, the listings are losing. So here's the decision. January 2009. Airbnb is still broke. Chesky rents a $5,000 camera. He flies to New York, and he goes door to door, reshooting every single listing himself. He's not a photographer. He doesn't know what he's doing. But he's the founder, and he's the only one who cares enough to fix this manually. He spends a week taking hundreds of photos. Professional lighting, clean angles, staging the rooms, making them look like places people actually want to stay. Then he uploads them. Within a week, bookings double. Not because the platform changed. Not because they added features. Because the listings stopped looking terrible. Here's the framework Chesky used, and this is critical. When you're out of money and time, you cannot fix everything. You have to identify the one variable that's killing your conversion, and you solve it manually, even if it doesn't scale. This is the constraint theory from Eliyahu Goldratt's work. Every system has exactly one bottleneck that limits throughput. Fix anything else, and you're wasting time. Fix the bottleneck, and everything improves. For Airbnb, that variable was photos. Not the website. Not the payment system. Not the marketing. Photos. In conversion rate optimization language, photos were the highest friction point in the funnel. People would land on a listing, see a terrible photo, and bounce. No amount of features or marketing could fix that. So they doubled down. They started hiring photographers in every major city. They offered free professional photography to every host. It cost them money they didn't have, but it worked. This is what Reid Hoffman calls doing things that don't scale. Early-stage companies can't afford to automate everything. Sometimes, the founder has to do the unsexy manual work to prove the hypothesis before building the scalable solution. By mid-2009, Airbnb's revenue was growing 10% week over week. By 2011, they were in 89 countries. Today, they're worth $75 billion. And it all started because Chesky refused to pivot. He went manual. He fixed the highest leverage problem himself. So what's the takeaway here? Most business advice will tell you to never give up or believe in your vision. That's not the lesson. The lesson is this. When you're in crisis mode, the answer is almost never to do more things. It's to do one thing at founder-level intensity. This applies across business models. Whether you're running SaaS, e-commerce, or services, there's always one variable killing your growth. For SaaS, it might be onboarding friction. For e-commerce, it might be product photography. For services, it might be response time. The framework is the same. First, use the 5 whys technique. Why are we growing? Because conversions are low. Why? Because people bounce after viewing listings. Why? Because listings look unprofessional. Why? Because photos are terrible. Why? Because hosts use phone cameras with no training. Now you've found the root cause. That's your one variable. Second, solve it manually before you automate. Chesky didn't build a photo marketplace platform. He grabbed a camera and did it himself. Once he proved it worked, then he scaled it. Chesky could have tried to fix the website, improve the payment flow, launch in new cities, build a mobile app. He didn't. He took photos. So if you're running a business right now and revenue is stalling, ask yourself, what's the one friction point killing my conversion? Can I solve it manually before I automate it? Am I trying to scale too early, or have I not gone deep enough into the core problem? This is the difference between strategic patience and desperate flailing. Strategic patience means going deep on the right problem. Desperate flailing means trying 10 things at once and hoping something works. That's the Airbnb playbook. Survival isn't about doing everything. It's about doing the right thing with ruthless focus. If you're building something right now, drop a comment. I want to know what crisis you're navigating. This is Mogul LEDGER, where we decode the hidden strategies and crucible moments that built billion-dollar companies.
Subscribe for more content.